inlets were 5 complete frame trips. They're constant. They run from the time they go to the time they hire. Yeah. You can operate
2.5 hours each way.
No, the 30 minutes.
Oh, you said plane.
So the
They
operate,
running a day, hours a day to run down.
and they operate 2 pumps.
That makes sense.
Are they seaplanes or chalks?
They run the
They used to call them chalks.
to have one otters.
Otter, that's it.
Yeah, it's the otter, which is like very robust.
Oh, yeah, that's
thing
thing.
for hauling freight and Alaska. That's what this guy did.
They fly hunters in and out there all the time.
How cool is that?
You'll have a call.
Okay, that's the last number one there.
Are you? Oh,
Got some big rain everywhere. 5 8.
positive patches are friendly.
Oh, that'll be fine. I'll be fine.
I'm thinking of her. So she can say yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good lord.
If she's sick as hell, she goes like some other time.
Yeah. Try again next week.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look at
Oh, yeah, scopolamine, and then unless you're like a budget pharmacist that put too many on and slept through the whole first day at sea on his cruise.
Hell yeah. Out late on light.
And knocked them both out there, wake up.
Hey.
Lost today.
What?
Yeah. And they got a scopolamine patch, you know, stick it behind your ear, when you're falling.
Well, he doubled the dose. He had probably 2 patches on for
He private, he said, oh yeah, I don't wanna get seasick, this, that.
He did everything.
I get for 3 days, too. Yeah, but with the, once the medication's in your system, you gotta burn it off, right? So they overdose themselves so much, they're like, down the road. They heard them, you know, make it to their port of call or whatever. I thought the first port of call was. Yeah, that's that.
Do you just get those from like over the counter pharmacy or?
So prescription.
Yeah, his mom's down before.
Dramamine.
Yeah, Dramamine was last day.
Yeah. That stuff drives me out so much.
Anyway, I'm Daniel, K4EOK.
Hey, I'm Jim, AK4G.
Or G.
Carson, brand new, don't have a license. Here to come see what's going on.
Good.
How long you been licensed?
And the KE call says.
I got licensed in 91. But my original call is KP4HDH. And I went to W4RNG and then KX4S sound, and then recently AK4G.
Oh, you follow new.
Yeah, I did buy that last one because I wanted the 1x2. But those are hard to get anymore.
I'm Griffin. EOK. Bring me okay, easy one, kilowatt. There you go. I'm stuck with it.
Yeah, don't get changed. Don't break a good thing.
With my original. Haven't changed it. This is Justin.
I'm Justin, I'm the secretary. Past president.
Justin. He's the president for.
Right.
Been so long.
Really, look at a local hospital in COVID.
Oh, yeah, that'll put a big damper on the current plans.
And the hospital said, yeah, no more crew for somebody.
Everything down.
Yeah.
Check back with them and.
Yeah, I mean, the person that was my contact there retired. He's no longer there, so. I reached out and left a message and. Probably I mean, my sponsors, you know, our sponsor, but they want a responsibility. Part of it, back up. for the hospital.
Just, y'all still doing Zoom meetings?
Staff, but they have,
Time,
Okay.
Yeah, it's on in the original, so.
well, you bring that up already or?
and I'm like, don't bring on the laptop, recording,
Oh, okay.
have any interaction with you.
Well, I was gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly. If anybody's there, raise the hand or ask them questions or anything. And this is Colin.
What's that?
All of that.
Oh, yeah.
And I was gonna do, well, on the treasurer that we find, but I don't have the treasury report. Hopefully just tonight. We get together on a time, we get up at a time. You know, I pay for it.
Recording in progress.
You just gotta read yourself.
We got that. From the key for a while, but maybe I'll have, we'll get together and get that completely straightened out. That's $1,000. Later, you can play it out and.
Oh, fortunately, I'm not to keep thinking about it.
And yeah,
At least when you have 5 different repeaters.
so what is that, like, we're on the station, how are you guys drawing it all? How do we get power, it's all over the power grid, or you're running solar, big solar?
We talked to the both out.
Okay.
We have one that's on. Battery next up, if it is, most of them in hospitals, where they're gonna have generator.
Well, okay, so we'll be up here like 24/7, no matter what.
Very cool.
The these storage heaters is on that is south. So it's south of town. Our main heater 146-760 is on Nemours downtown. On the top of the bridge.
Right, 95 across the river.
And
That's the transmit site. The receive is on the Banksville Bridge. Yeah. About 250, 300, 300, 400, 350 feet in the air. Or over water. I'm sorry. 150 feet over the road deck, but it's another 150 feet to the water. So it's right, it's over 300 foot above water.
And we also have a motor in that system, so we have different receivers. We have a receiver in one part, which is currently turned on. And we can add other receivers. Our 6 million receiver is on 8th Street.
In the downtown area.
Yeah.
Hospital there.
No, it's not.
It used to be Methodist, now it's UF Health.
Which one's out?
Right, right, we're on the south tower.
And the 40 machine, they both were about 675. It's on top of it. Wow. And they probably got generated backup power. They didn't have power.
Oh yeah, they got everything.
Good location, we're gonna be shut down.
I don't think they're gonna, yeah.
They have their communications when they have their equipment and they're not gonna lose power from them.
Yeah.
We got some good locations. The next one, the bridge is our main receiver. We receive from the dam point bridge to the top location. And it transmits that 440 back to Newport. The receiver transmits.
It's a different bandwidth, but yeah.
that is licensed through the FCC for.
It does mean that I live in the foot of the bench, bridge, and I'm not able to bring out seven section here.
He's got a brand new little HT that he's been frustrated by.
I can bring up no bar here on 700. I can't bring out 7 cents.
Right, when you say bring up, are you making GSOs?
Call, like I did you, or I even look for a post. I'll put his name, get it, kind of swell shell on the meter. And you got-
Okay,
Maybe we can get you hooked up or fixed.
what fidget with
You're
it?
able to hit it where you're at with 1 watt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just wondering, has anybody heard conversations on the meter? On a technical issue, project on the side?
Let me think.
Because I've been monitoring, I've heard nothing but 76.
Huh. But you said it was IDing. Okay, so it's at least transmitted.
I don't hear it. That be before
Little 3 watt thing. Ah, 5 on 2 meters, or
No.
that's what is that, the 92 AD?
Justin could bring it up on his mobile in the truck.
No, I broke squelch on it. But you couldn't, but you didn't hear it.
See, shouldn't be a problem.
right, there's no phone on that. Yeah, more deals. Don't have that music really. That's a lot.
All right, well, I can walk back out to the truck and key it up if you want to play with it, or you can start to record the station and play with the radios afterwards.
I think that one is possible, you know, it's not off the very thing. Now, we get anyway,
Were you recommending to go to, study for this, basic tax?
You get 3 different gyms, 4 different gyms, and then you get 4 different opinions. Like I said, probably the software. You go to websites and everything, and flashcards for you, questions and answers and stuff. You just need to make sure that you're with the current test pool questions. If they change the pool of test questions, I don't know, every year or so, it's changed. I don't know what the previous is, but be sure that you're with the most current test pool question. Okay. So those do change.
I'm trying to figure out every 8 copy of the question pool. Wrong.
It makes sense.
But everything. And that's on my.
I have a supply of study books. The question pool is slightly out of date, but the information is the same.
Okay.
Those are the two. The online stuff is after you study the, you read, familiar with the area that I'm built. Then you get to look at, well, what does this look like? Test.
Yeah.
And they'll even tell you, you know, I can say, okay, 1 is no. Okay, 2, no. Okay. 3, no, 4.
Yeah, so then you,
Like I said,
when you're studying just to get general. And get your technical. Maybe remembering correctly. It's like any mobile.
Oh, yeah, I'm, all.
Yeah, but once you get the hang of it and the style of questions that are on the test, I crammed for 3 days and passed the test.
Okay.
Not hard.
Makes sense.
I'm still cramming, and then I took my general after, which is the next level up. Several years later, I've had it 3 years now. I took more studying, and now I'm studying, which there's a lot more math and theory and everything. Studying for my what they call it extra, which is like PhD, ham radio.
What's the
And
advantage of that?
you can operate on a few extra bands within the spectrum that we're allowed to use. You can
We'll have standard, maybe. We contact and
yeah.
we can, nobody can stop, but if we, but you can move down a little bit lower and find out. So that opens up another area.
Yeah.
Get more chance.
Yeah, it's like cable TV. You get yeah. Right.
On the weekends, most of the activities will be in the general portion of the bank. That's where most of the bank cancer.
But if you don't want to be in that kind of pile up, you can say, "Hey, meet me over at 80 meters," and they can just dial it up, and you can kind of cut through the crowd a little better.
Okay.
If they're talking about contesting is either a local, national, or worldwide game of making the most number of contacts in different areas of the country or the world.
Okay.
And then getting not only as many contacts as you can that you can log, or the more unusual ones. Like if anybody keys up from, one frequency from Australia, everybody jumps on it. Or pounce on it like, hey. Or I don't know, somewhere, crazy like Bali. Someone says, "Yeah, I'm here on the island of Bali." Boom, the radio goes nuts. The frequency goes nuts. People are trying to get in, and if you're on what they call HF, which is not a repeater, it's just line of sight stuff. The guy with the biggest stick and the most kilowatts wins. We're limited to watts wins no matter what the elevation is, but we're limited. Some areas it's just whatever you can get. I mean, some of these guys are like full broadcasting power. Nobody bothers them in South America. Nobody cares. Or the
Like here we
islands.
have like really like somebody at the highest power.
Too high of a power level. Yeah, they have.
Yeah, but the dude just with the coordinating and range where it's like, I just whatever I want. I'm gonna stop.
I got a 300-foot tower. I can talk to anybody I want. Yeah. That's funny. I mean, you'll hear when you're tuning through the dial, you go like, and then boom, somebody be just pegging your receive, and you're like, oh yeah. He's not just a great band opening, right? You're not on just the perfect frequency. He's roasting everybody else.
2 meters. 2 meters and 40.
So where would you set this up?
Well, that was handheld, so you can scan. You can scan for
And you can use it for
There's a directional finding for there's a game that ham radio operators play where one will go hide and the others will ask him for clues, and then they'll cruise around with their radios trying to figure out where he is.
Okay.
And the one that finds him wins. But if he's really good at hiding his signal,
That's it. Have that in somewhere. That's the city.
oh yeah.
All for ambulance.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, when they show up at your house. Hey, we understand you're
No, you have to follow the rules.
that's not your favorite.
It is feature that probably like what using EMS channels though.
If you're causing interference with a radio broadcast, they will find you fast. On the local repeaters, both here and up in Callahan and Nassau, there's been this one sort of disruptive operator that's been just pestering everybody, and they've shut down repeaters, send a tone, through their radio, and just turn the repeater off to get rid of him.
Oh,
So if you're
just like make it instead of sound blast.
it's a code. You program it. You program that code into your repeater, and you're the only one that's supposed to know it, and that way you can have remote control of that repeater. So if the repeater's acting up, you can shut it off, or if somebody's abusing the privilege, you can turn them off. And there are plenty of times. Been there 4 times. You were there twice, right? At least. So yeah, that's directional. So
So you hold it up and basically it's creating the distance between it is what it's using for and pointing up like a bullhorn.
right, you have your forward receive, and then you have your rear receive, I guess you call it, off the back of the antenna, but it is more directional. So if for some reason someone was transmitting a distress signal, you can sweep until you get the strongest signal and then follow it.
And then like each of them, what, VAs in there?
That's a dual bander, so I believe, I don't think it's a tri-bander, but you can talk and receive on 2 meters and 70 centimeters. And then what they're talking about is the distance, the amplitude and length of the wave itself. Yeah, that is pretty cool. It almost looks like a quad. Yeah, they publish the satellite trajectories, times, azimuths, when it's going to be overhead and how long. And you can actually, with an HT, key up the satellite and transmit. Anything's true of the space station, but it's moving so fast that you only get a few minutes to talk to them before they're over the horizon and gone. They're ripping. So, but if you can't catch them the first try and you're patient, you can wait around and they come back.
Like 24, 30 minutes or whatever.
Before they're back around, but they're also they're not following the same exact path. You have to. So that same manual, I guess you'd call it, tells you, well, what's at this time of day, at this day and month, this is the best angle to take. And it'll some people actually go great guns and have them motorized. stand or tripod for it, and it just follows that signal. You know, it's scanning for the strongest signal, and it'll adjust and track it all the way across the sky. That's more than my budget.
Yeah, we would set up every aircraft. Every, right now, which way, that would be.
Mhm.
Pretty straightforward, it lasts all back to red star.
Right.
Set up. I'll know where the little, tank, artillery range training for, harbor passes there. For air.
Right.
So I'm setting up this little, what is satellite of the clock. Thankfully, I don't know much how it works. Because locked it.
Oh, yeah.
They just follow those.
It just articulates and keeps on moving.
Yeah, it's like, you know, sitting there.
That's nice.
Yeah, oh, they're,
Oh, I can imagine. Now, if that doesn't hit it, I don't know what will.
They're
They're trying to hit the bridge. Yeah, you don't have to turn that.
Basically.
I don't know if that model is possible, but you know, most ham radios you can program on the screen.
Yeah.
Or on the pad.
Yeah, I can.
The others you gotta plug it into a laptop, download a file, and then begin programming it. It talks to you.
Yeah, I can turn that off.
And it has a flashlight too.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
You know why? Because that's the only way they can legally sell it. Because it is outside of FCC
Regulation.
allowable transmission. So they have narrow band and wide band.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the wider the band, the more interference you have.
Of course, this is basically running a wider band.
The
Should
same
be.
thing.
Blazes across the spectrum.
So
what we're.
the reason they can do that is they sell it as a toy.
Okay.
They don't need an FCC license because it's a
Literal toy, yeah.
toy because it's a flashlight
That's so funny.
that you can also listen to in phone calls.
That's so funny.
Chinese are stupid.
Oh my
Hey
God.
guys, WB4RNG.
I went through it on one of them.
Point
So I
camera,
was
what you're
trying to
on
like follow along on a YouTube channel to be like, and I think I got like, yeah, there we go. I got that program in.
Trying to get it.
Justin,
Oh, the memory is trying to figure out some memory.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
The squelch is low. It's on
That's not.
5,000 kilohertz. The trailer power. Voice operated off. It's in wideband. You can make it. I'm sorry.
no worries.
No, it's not changeable that way. Oh, the problem is if you don't keep
Messing with it, it'll set back to its normal screen.
So you have an A and B, so you can
Mhm.
monitor one frequency and listen on the other.
Okay. When you say okay, you said monitor on one frequency. We those are the same word, the same thing with the slightly different word.
Or talk, I'm sorry, monitor one, talk on the other.
Oh, okay.
That's what I should
So
say.
if you're like sound something on one and you're responding,
Right.
why would that be more advantageous? So that's a computer that can talk the exact same time as listening.
Really, I mean, if you have two frequencies that you like, you can listen to both. And you can just flip back and forth between the two. And some of them will actually, you'll see the one light up and oh, somebody's over there. You go to B, the B side and the B frequency and whatever you have programmed into your memory. And catch whoever's on that one. Or you can just put it in scan and let it run. And it'll scan the entire band until it That's just something that's making that it hears, and then it'll pause for however many predetermined seconds, and then it'll keep on moving. So it lets you just, well, who's out here? What the heck? Punch it up, and it'll scan all of the frequencies that you have programmed, or you can have it scanned in what they call PFO mode, which is not going through a repeater. It's just line of sight with whatever it'll hear, and you can just scan. It'll still pick up the repeater that might be in that same area.
Frequency use and pay for the cheap.
But if you program then, I don't know, a half dozen of your favorite channels, and you just Saturday morning sitting there drinking a coffee, who's out here? Hit the button and scan all 5 of them, and the first person that wakes up, they boom, chase them back down, and they're talking. That's fun. I do not know. Transmit power, save.
So when we're like, love that about that. Well, we started off.
You're talking about mounting it in your truck as a modem?
VHF or UHF.
These things are perfectly good little radios. To really play with it, yeah, the manuals are not there.
They're entirely written in Chinese, translated to English, so they come apart.
Yes.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. So far, YouTube's been the most helpful thing possible
YouTube.
because they're walking me through it. The best.
Right. Yeah, somebody's always
Been along with one of these.
pulling one out of the box and trying to figure it out.
You probably 2 feet to the right in your eyes.
So what channels would you recommend I tune for so I can listen to, just to listen to it? Because like obviously I can't broadcast anytime soon, but
Okay, the beep is off now. There's 1, 2, 3, 2 meters repeaters, or VHF repeaters. I'm sorry, UHF repeaters, and there's a bunch of what used to be considered commercial, but now it's called DMR, just local radio.
I'm just trying to do this one.
Those are basically formed around talk groups, and you definitely have to program those radios by laptop, because
they're incredibly precise kind of thing.
Yeah, they're just not front panel friendly. You can bring up, you can scan. Once you have everything in memory, you can say, okay, I want local transmission, or I can go statewide transmission, or I can go nationwide transmission, or I can go worldwide. And well, if you go worldwide and put it in scan, it'll kill the battery really fast. If it's
So
not gonna stop.
What software do you recommend for my computer?
There's a
Radio. So,
CHIRP, sure. If you go to my friend, if you go to QRZ, KUK, I'm sorry.
Quebec Romeo Zulu.
Zulu dot com or org. Jim Keeley, yeah, he's on QRZ, right? He's also on ARRL. Yeah, but QRZ, is it .org?
QRZ.com.
And you can do a call sign lookup.
Okay.
I can do that for you, because I can log on. Right, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I'll take it. I would love it.
Oh, so I just need to log on. That's cool.
Oh, man, out.
Was it basically the perfect one? Ooh, okay.
got it. I'm gonna,
I Googled it. You guys were the first ones that popped up.
oh,
7 minutes. Let me make this happen.
Well, then,
yeah,
Right now, across the south side, of my house,
I'm right up the road.
the neighbors.
Yeah, I was literally like, oh man, I gotta get out of here. 6:34.
right, it's 6:40. Oh, yeah. I forgot how close it was.
Little storm or
I was in it.
was in it?
I got interviewed by the.
Yeah.
I was fine. Thank God. I was leaving my house to go to my girlfriend's place. And on the way there,
I have my phone, sorry.
well, I assumed it was a phone call. My truck doesn't pop up. On my phone and it says tornado. What I'm like, oh shit. Press okay.
And it needs to watch all of the downpouring rain stop entirely. And it is just, I watched palm tree take out the power lines first, causing another transformer below, that big ring of electric ball of lightning. And then the oak tree right next to it starts coming down, and I'm like, well, shit, that's gonna come down on me. Done. Another tree falls on the road, blocking my lane, so I swerve into oncoming traffic. Another tree falling up ahead, thank God, because it's blocking oncoming traffic from coming towards me. So I swerve my way out, and I get to Grove Washington Boulevard, and I'm like, holy shit, what the heck was happening? I didn't believe it was like, you're like, oh, tornado warning. Well, this is Florida, not Tennessee. I thought it was a real tornado. So like, go back to the news, the police are out there, and they're like,
Right.
what's the tornado? Like, my friends, when I was up in Tennessee, they were living off the, they probably got this 6,000, like if you got 4, what they are, or like 30% gone.
Right.
So, that's they go for the tornado. So where I was, I got out.
I just think if you, I didn't warn you.
Yeah.
you could prepare to.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was white up through that little section. All it was less than 45 seconds. It was one of the crazy experiences of my life.
Okay, let me get your phone number. Sorry, you're getting out of here. Let me get you. Yeah, so put it all in. And put radio at the end, otherwise it's gonna be a on my phone.
Now I'll be like, I got 600 contacts. That's all I'm gonna do. Have my folder.
Now, this is a factory made. Oh, the Yagi antenna.
I've seen them. Those are what I use a lot for.
This is gamma, that's what they call match. Yeah, that's what they call matches the 50 on.
Something about possibly losing everything we had. Oh,
Let me text you real quick.
stop and roll.
I better go to the other room.
Jackson.
So this would be used in what situation? Looking at like side of the house kind of thing?
Yeah.
So that way you can get better signal in your house. So my house, I have to use what a functionally a mesh network anyways for even my Wi-Fi. This is like just making it. Okay.
That's weird. Like, then it's been anything.
Oh. Interesting.
And this is one I built. Essentially, same band for
Okay.
this has got a tuned blue.
Okay.
Compared to a gamma band.
Okay, what's the difference? What
They do the same thing, it's just a different way to tune to get to their tune to match your radio. Just go to the radio, your transmitter 50 on. The transmitter with them. To get yours flat.
that's the one.
Stand wave ratio.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Can anyone hear me?
It's nice to be on the other end of knowing all of the 3 letters are. It's kind of like we have with my family every single.
Standing wave ratio is essentially a ratio of power from out. to power
Hey,
on.
Jack, I heard you a minute ago. Can you hear me?
Got a 1-1
Yes,
ratio,
yes, I did.
20 power going out.
Okay, apparently the audio in the
3-1.
church there is not working.
You ain't coming up with the problem.
This is WB4SID, by the way.
Hey,
This is what you're trying to
Okay.
This is one I'm.
Okay.
Now, we. The match.
Justin, can you hear anything from the bridge?
I do hear you.
Really appreciate getting to meet you. Before.
Yeah, I don't think they can hear us, Jack.
I understand.
I see. Why you had to put in the keys. Great pleasure. That's very good. So, all things been said. You, if you're walking,
That's considered.
fine, right?
That,
That's when you need a license to start. Really,
That is.
That's
Hey, Rajesh, can you hear the folks from the bridge?
Very. Oh. Very. Yeah. This is.
okay,
VH, that would be the along on that. Very nice. The along. The frequency, the quarter. So.
Mhm.
We're on regular to nine things. And it's going to be that one.
mhm.
And, one, two, and. Well. One gig. It's small. Five gig. Wow. Now.
Hey, Jack, I'm gonna go ahead and drop off here. I don't think they got the audio patched through. I'll catch you next time. WB4SID.
People know.
Okay, 73.
Yes, sir.
I don't know yet. I'm trying.
But yeah, different antennas, these are. Very. And I feel like we have one this far, with the bridge on it. And you can build those to be a house. Then you need a ground plane, like your hot wire, which is like the element here, you can break it up to your. Center where you transmitted, and your house, you can build like a J-pole. And it's essentially just
No, talking to Jack.
a J-pole, you can hang a piece of wire on the ceiling, come down, and have the other. That would look like your center conductor to your hand transmitter, and then you shield those, you actually put it to the bottom, hanging down this way, that would be the other half of the hand. Things that they call that in the table. Okay. And then. Yeah, well, 8-inch. And you. Potentially. Your live or you just. That would essentially be on. The table and you tune on. Two here. I think would be 19 inches long. They have 19-inch wire and you fill them down. So it would be a center conductor. Of the 19 inches hanging down with your shield. I don't think you have a J-pole. A dipole. All of you want the same thing. And they work. They're the same thing. Easy you can do it on. Good. And you can get gain out of them by. Hopefully, stay apart. Just put one element on top of another element. So basing them two of them together. Have to be like the super table, super folding table. We take a 19 feet. With 4-inch wave pole. And then another 19. And then 2 19 pieces stacked together. And we can way more give you like the calculator there. Now instead of having just a standard dipole and pin, I got like 60 dB. And then calculators on the internet will do it independent, going and count the frequency and then it'll tell you how long it takes all these different components.
Okay.
At the time, I need to make a save on it, probably not the calculator.
You know, so we got some much math on the internet, great film. You know, that's.
Well, it was already done for the fine. I've got the links to a lot of them already myself. A lot of stuff that is probably old, but they all, the math doesn't change.
Yeah.
So, got a lot of programs out for those of you. And back there, a website, those page on our website. And then that's it.
I do appreciate it. Try to figure that stuff out. Like, now I gotta start studying for this test. I gotta block and learn.
Yeah.
So what do you guys, what's your, presentation look like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That would make a lot of sense. All things considered. Okay.
Short, quick, and simple. Dipole antennas. On the direction of the and then further and create it down. Then the molding things on the video.
Okay.
And horizontal antennas, the wire antennas, probably in the video, the tree. Some people that has just said using a fence.
I think the safety on the ground.
Yeah.
Good job.
We can actually take a wire fence, got my field, use it for a long one. And put it here. And what they're doing with a camera, it's not gonna be a great length for what you can do. So with your finger in fine, good tune. You can put the bottom of our fence out in the field before 9 o'clock. But good, use that for your fence, and these two, you have long wire and random length. With a tuner to it, you can tune that to broadcast.
I'll have to usually like a site to see what that's. Yeah, it's not one of those trees.
I thought about making, I think potato gun or something. Seen other folks do it. Like a potato gun is designed for shooting. Stuff up in the trees with running wire and things so. Really cool.
Probably you can go there. The trees or we can do it every day. And we're all working to do broadcasting, you're not very good with like broadcasting.
We were just about 1, 2, 3, audio check. Hello, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, we need volunteers. Help you all. Since there's no meeting, get a good audio check.
Make it happen, yeah.
One person.
Oh, there you
We're
are.
not do everything.
I hope it's gonna get a business system would figure out how to work on it and what do you do? Push the top. That's what my hope is to get like doing a group of guys on walking talkies, push the talk and be able to function with things. That's what I know. Maybe that's I do competitive like shoot houses with my friends still. And we don't have we have no costs. So,
Yeah.
we're just yelling at each other inside the room, it's like, that works, but if you realize to have like an earpiece under my, teleport, that, you know, actually hear somebody.
Yeah. What is it?
Tell us some more about your handheld antenna. Get up there with it and tell us some more about it for the program.
You think,
We brought in a 3-element YAG factory built. That we directional antennas for 440. And I also brought in one that I built. If I remember correctly, this has a loop, a round loop on it. Let me set this thing. The one I built, I think is called a Kawagi. It's not a Yagi. The Yagi's got a gamma match, which tunes your 50 ohms to your driven element. Where Kawagi is tuned, you got a tune loop, and you feed it directly. Center lead of your coax goes to one side of your feed point, and the shield goes to the other side. So you have to get the length perfect. That's how you retune your Kawagi. So this is a home built Kawagi that I built. And then I have an Arrow handheld unit that a lot of people use for in the field use for satellite work. It's a dual band, 2-meter 440. Real lightweight, easy to maneuver, and super easy to take apart. Fits in a little 3-foot long bag. So your trunk or your back seat works really well. I think they're about 100, 120 bucks. And you can get a duplex from it. So you got a dual band HD. You can actually transmit and receive at the same time on working satellite. So pretty neat little setup. And you can also get portable rotors. So you can take that in the field with you and mount this on it. If you want to get real fancy with your computer and your portable rotor system, you can set this up on it and it will track whatever satellite that you got programmed on your program to track. This will track it going across the sky. It'll be more accurate than what a human can do trying to estimate where that satellite's at going across the sky. Which I've never done it, but no. Jack, he's out there. It's surprising how accurate or how well you can do it is just guessing and knowing where you think it was at, making contact. Amazing that you can even hit a satellite when you don't know, guesstimate more of that out there in the sky. But it's a fun hobby. Now, that's about all I have on antennas for now.
Okay,
Anybody have any questions?
you're gonna have to bring Jack up on your phone because I have my phone turned down. I think he wanted a comment.
Oh, sounds good. I had a little trouble getting connected to the right meeting, but I finally made it.
Put the microphone on the cell phone and we can hear what he's saying.
I don't have.
If you have the Zoom meeting up,
Hmm.
Arson, do you have it on?
about to.
Hello.
1 minute, Jack.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see if I can flip this camera. Okay. They should be able to hear you pretty well now, and you should be able to hear them.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Good job. I had a little trouble getting onto the right meeting or whatever, but I finally switched browsers and did a little better. A lot better, actually.
Good. Did you have a question, Jack?
Say again?
Do you have a question?
I still didn't.
Do you have a question?
Oh, no, not really. Just good to see you guys are working on the antennas and all.
Do you have a comment about working satellites, Jack?
Well, yeah, I can tell you what I kind of prefer to do personally is get in advance the satellite track, preferably printed out on paper, but also on a screen will work, so that I know the compass heading for where it's coming up over the radio horizon and where it's going down and where the center is elevation wise. So what I'll do is I'll take a screwdriver and stick it in the ground out there at the where it's coming up, another one where it's going down, and another one at the center that tells me the elevation above the horizon for the height of the pass. With those three things, you don't need much tracking effort at all, as long as you need a third thing also. You need the compass, you need the marks in the ground, but you need a clock. So you need to know, okay, this is when it's going to be at that point. And halfway through the pass, it's going to be at the height above the elevation above the center of the pass over the horizon, above the horizon. But then what I like to do is have someone moving the antenna and someone else listening to the radio, or the guy moving the antenna to be within range of hearing while someone else tunes with the radios. Okay, the guy moving the antennas can move them around for the strongest signal coming to be heard. And that's usually more than enough accuracy for getting the contact to work and so on. The longer passes are more fun to work because they're just there for a longer period of time. The oldest working communications satellite of the planet is Oscar 7. And a direct overhead pass for that is like 25 minutes, 28 minutes. So it's not moving terribly quickly. Also, the polarization makes a difference because the satellites are actually rolling or spinning as they go around in space. And the polarization could be horizontal, it could be vertical, it could be anything in between. Hence, having the Quaggy type antenna, which works fairly well on either polarization, it can be advantageous in that it works somewhat with either polarization or anything in between. Um, so those are a few things I would mention, I guess.
Tell us about working the space station.
Space station's pretty hard to work because the passes are so short. The direct overhead pass is 9.5 minutes maximum, which means you have to swing the antenna across the sky from horizon to horizon in 9.5 minutes for a direct overhead pass. And you know, it's the Oscar 7 pass is over 3 times longer in time for a direct overhead pass. But you can do it. I've done it a number of times. One of the fun things about working the International Space Station is the variety of modes that you can work at it. It has a packet station. It has slow scan television, uplink and downlink. It has a translator, much like Oscar 7, that'll do single sideband and CW. It also has an FM repeater. So you can try for, you know, any of those that you want to try. I will say that probably by far the easiest one to get is the packet box because it's automatic and, you know, you can get a few packets from it and send a few packets to it and know that the communication occurred. Whereas some of the other modes require someone aboard the space station to be actively working some of the radio modes. Within a 9-minute pass to change from one mode to another, you just don't have time to do it. Just tracking and being on frequencies is all you have time to do. So you kind of have to pick a mode before the pass starts and try for that one mode. You can have the Russians will sometimes dedicate slow scan television and stay on it, you know, during events like Field Day or Jamboree on the Air, and give you some pictures on slow scan television. And you can work that with doing nothing more than having a radio on the right frequencies approximately, and an Android or Apple phone running an app that will just pick up with the microphone of the device, your handheld computer, Android or Apple, and you can see the picture appear over a period of minutes, because it takes multiple minutes to get a picture to be transmitted. The slowest one being about 6 or 7 minutes, the fastest being about 4 times faster than that. And anyway, if you know in advance what the Russians are planning to do, then you can be on the right mode and try to catch whatever they're sending for pictures.
And Jackson, can you use that same type of rig that Daniel's demonstrating to skip or to bounce signal off the moon?
Well, I got a lot of echo on that, so I didn't quite catch. You're asking something about what to do with trying to work some of the modes, I believe.
Right, like skip or moon bounce.
Well, moon bounce, you don't have to worry about speed of tracking very much. The easiest way to do moon bounce is to shoot at the moon coming up over the horizon. And you're going to hit the moon for anything from, you may hit the moon for as much as half hour to an hour easily. And you don't have to track. You just set up your antenna on the ground, aimed horizontally, or in your pickup truck or whatever you got. And you will hear yourself coming. You can make a transmission, say on single sideband or CW, down around 144, 200, say on single sideband. And in 6 minutes later, hear your own voice coming back from the moon, and you'll know it's you. Needless to say, you have to quit talking long enough to hear the bounce signal coming back to you. But also you want to listen and see if you get someone, say from Japan or India or other places, a variety of places. People may be attempting moon bounce at the given time that you are. There are not lots of people doing it all the time, but there are enough that you can make some contacts. The one fellow who's done it most recently around here is KJ4CX, Justin.
Curtis.
Yeah, KJ4CX. Curtis Robinson, Curtis. And we have him on tap to do a program when he's ready, but he just hasn't gotten ready with what he wants to do for a program. But I hope we'll get him to do that at some point. In the not too distant future. I keep checking back with him to see if he's ready, and so far he hasn't quite gotten ready. But anyway, if you're going to do either satellite or moon bounce, having a field that you can get in the middle of, so that you're not competing with buildings and trees very much at the edge of the radio horizon, gives you a much better chance at success. So,
thank you, Jack. Let's turn it back over to Daniel to close the meeting.
Sounds good.
All right. That's all I have for the meeting. Thank you for everybody for coming. And we hope to see you next month at the meeting.
Okay, 73 to everyone.
Thank you, and everybody have a great evening. Good night. Thank you, Jack.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you, no judgment. You can come back around. Perfectly on.
Here, you do it. I'm knock it off with this. As you move it, losing your hand on it. How do you stop? Leave.